promised I'd talk about networking as well. Here's some useful help with networking. Now, know that, again, I'm giving you a brief outline here. I'm giving you some really useful tips. Having said that, if you need help with networking, I've actually put together a networking course. This takes people from step one to right up to everything that they need to know about networking. Some other skills. It depends on your networking strategy. Some people are good with business group type networking. Other people are good one-on-one, individual, rather than like this community. You've got to figure out a way that works for you. And part of that process is learning and growing in it. It's got to suit you. It's got to fit what you want and your goals. So what I'm going to say, this should help you. This should whet your appetite. I'll give you some action steps at the end to help you start on this process. If this is something that you want to do, I really want you to work hard on it and call me and ask me about this other course or about other useful tips, hints. I'll give you some in here, okay? And hopefully it'll get you enough that you can get started. The massive benefit with networking is that you have people who are basically already sold. Referrals are the best kind of business. We all love referrals. Why? Because somebody's already sold them. We haven't had to create visibility. We haven't had to create trust. They've done the work for us. It becomes far easier. So I talked about the funnel before, the kind of the marketing funnel. Here's the networking funnel, okay? So with the networking funnel, you connect with people. And you have to actually do a lot of work at the beginning. A lot of work at the beginning if you want to do this well. Having said that, so you're building visibility and credibility with specific individuals. Mostly credibility. Once you do this, however, these people make you visible to their network. Every person knows about 250 other people. So they make you visible to their network. And then they do the work of talking about you in a way that builds trust. They talk about you in great ways. Now people are ready to buy. So the sales process is very easy. Now this can work really, really, really well because you just get the sale done now. And then again, you can get referrals now from the customers because they know you and trust you, and you can use them as referral partners. Networking tends to look really easy. It isn't easy. It is more comfortable on many levels because it removes the need to be great at sales. Do not use networking as an excuse for not being good at sales. I'm going to repeat that. If you're not good at sales, this is not a way to get out of it. If you're in business, you're in sales. If you're in business, you need to work on your sales. And again, I help people with sales. Contact me if you need help with this kind of stuff for one-on-one coaching. Yeah, basically, networking is not an excuse. Use it in its proper way. Having said that, if you're great at connecting with people and you like easy sales, this is a fantastic way to do it. It's not going to be cheap. It's going to cost you time, energy, money, but it can be fantastic. So how do you market utilizing referrals? Here are some basics, a basic format of what you can do to become good at marketing through networking. Now, again, when I say network marketing, I'm not talking about MLMs. I'm not talking about multi-level marketing, although there's tons of value in those kind of companies as well, in my opinion. It's a legitimate business if people treat it properly like a business. A lot of people aren't good at it, just like a lot of people aren't good at plumbing and other business, okay? Whatever it is. So here's what you need to do. First of all, you need to ask, what are your goals? What are your goals in marketing? How much money do you want to make from your network? And now again, intend to spend time, money, and energy on networking. So you've got to ask yourself, how much time will you invest in others each week? How much money will you invest in others each week? How much energy will you invest in others each week? And when you've got a number for that, a plan to reach your goals, if you want to make $50,000 a year, and depending on your product and service, of course, but if you want to do that, guess what? You're going to have to spend money and time and energy on this, okay? Secondly, so set your goals. Take time doing this. Secondly, you need to identify your ideal client or niche. So with the ideal client and niche, you've got to ask, what is your perfect client? And legitimately, find clients that are perfect. Why would you focus on people that are not perfect for you? Focus on the people that are ideal, that you can help easily, that you look good with because you work with them. Okay? And then secondly, identify the professionals you should focus on. Which professionals should you focus on? And this is a really important key. If there's only one thing you learn from this video, listen carefully to what I'm going to be saying here. You want to network with professionals that serve your ideal customer, but not in the same way. I'm going to give you some examples of this, okay? So an example of how this can work is, let's say you want to, let's say you're a graphic designer. If you're a graphic designer, a printer might overlap with you somewhat, but promotional advertising, direct mail advertising, a marketing consultant, a sign company, office supply store, maybe cleaning services, maybe a sales trainer, maybe employment services, or whatever. These all could potentially become perfect professionals because they're servicing the same type of people that might be your ideal client. Or here, I'll use another example. Let's say you're a general contractor. Well, now connecting with an interior decorator and an architect and heating and AC and landscaper and roofers and electricians and plumbers and carpenters and painters, those kinds of people aren't necessarily doing things in the same way that you're doing them. So they can start giving you referrals. Oh, you need a general contractor, a GC? Well, I'm only a painter. Go to Mark. He's good at that. Or I'll try to use another example. And then, by the way, I've written these down and we'll give you access to them, okay? Just to help you out. So health and wellness. Let's say you're a naturopath. Well, guess what? Connect with massage therapists and chiropractors and nutritionists and herbalists and water salespeople and professional trainers and vegetarians or shops that sell vegetarian food and products. When you connect with those people, they're serving your same client base most likely, but in a different way. And those are the perfect professionals to focus on. Why? Because they are going to be able to give you great referrals consistently, and they're talking with the people you want to spend time with anyway, okay? Now, once you have these professionals, once you've identified these professionals, you want to build trust through offering value to them. So begin getting to know these people and helping these people. Make sure they are dedicated. Here's an important thing. Make sure they are dedicated to helping you and looking for opportunities for you. If they're not willing to work for you, do not waste your time, energy, and money on them. I'm serious about this. If they're not willing to help you, even though you're helping them, be careful about this relationship. Now, often you'll have to go through a few people in one profession in order to find the one that can work well with you. That's okay. Find people who are at about the same stage in their business as yours or further along. Again, help them as much as you can. Offer to work for them on a part-time basis to learn and grow. I mean, that's a legitimate strategy because now they'll trust you. You're building credibility with these people. Now, this can be done over coffee and golf rather than online or newsletters, or it can be done online or in newsletters. Okay? Sorry, not newsletters. I shouldn't say that. There are online network marketing groups, and I'll give a name of one later on, okay? But again, these are people who you are connecting with over coffee or golf rather than newsletters. That's not the primary way you're building trust with them, although you can do that as well. Promote these people to your network. Remind them every once in a while that you want to work together and build something unique together. This really unique, dynamic working relationship. Work with the people who tend to send you clients anyway. Those are the perfect people that you need to invest in. If you've got some like cousin that sends you a ton of business, spend time with that cousin. Every time you go to their town or city, visit them. Buy them dinner. Thank them for what they're doing. That will delight them and they'll send all the more people to you, okay? Ask every once in a while how you can best serve them. And now again, I said you could send them newsletters. You can with maybe updates about your business. And here's another cool thing you can do. You can include everyone else you know in this newsletter list. And you can promote your network referral partners to your database. You can say, hey, listen, I've got people in my network that are really good at these different professions. Contact me if you want more, okay? Become known as the person who always knows somebody. I know a guy. Become that person. Because when you become that person who knows a guy or gal that can help them, people come to trust you more, which is building your marketing. Now here's a word of caution. Do not begin making a bunch of referrals from your network to these people unless you trust them. If they suck at what they do, it's a reflection back on you. And this has happened. I've lost clients who were about to work with me. I referred them to somebody else and they were disappointed with who I referred them to. And so they ended up not working with me. Be careful with this. Commit to one group of people until you know what you're doing, okay? Helping others takes a lot of time and energy. When you add different people to your network, start with a small group. Start with 2 or 3 people and say, hey, listen, let's promote each other. Let's help each other. And create a mastermind group and really work hard with these people. You can also be creative, okay? This doesn't necessarily need to be people that you meet for coffee every 2 weeks. There's a person that I'm trying to get to know right now that I met at a conference and an event, and they have a huge following on YouTube. Well, guess what? If they are YouTube stars, they have a great network of people. Now, the key is that the same network that is your ideal client. If it is, great. And you can find people out of the blue. You can go on YouTube and say, hey, listen, I'd like to interview you. Would you be willing to be interviewed? And I'll network you to I'll show other people in my network who you are. If you interview them, what are they most likely to do? If they've been interviewed and it's a good interview, they'll now put their interview up on their website or their YouTube channel. Guess what that does for you? It builds credibility for you because you're cross-marketing now, which is brilliant. It's a beautiful way of doing this. Now, some basic skills. You need these basic skills. If you do not have these basic skills, you will not be good at networking with people. So you need to build these, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you don't try this until you build them. Work on it as you grow, okay? The first is communication. You need to be an excellent communicator. If you're not an excellent communicator, don't get into networking with people, okay? If you lack confidence, you're not going to be great at this right at the beginning. Now, again, over time you can build this. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying learn the skill. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to ask great questions. You need to understand how to promote yourself. You need to build trust with people. And part of that is promoting yourself. If you don't have ways to promote yourself to others and show off what you do and how you can help people, I'm not talking about being a braggart or simply showing off. I'm saying, do it in a respectful way. If you don't have the confidence to do that, you're going to have to build your confidence. Guess how you build your confidence? By trying it. Failing at it and getting better. So still try it. What I'm not saying is don't network if you're not good at these. What I'm saying is get good at these. Follow up. If you do not follow up with people, you will lose business. The business that you can garner through networking is completely lost. It's completely thrown out with garbage if you're not doing this, okay? You need to become good at follow-up. You need a system for follow-up. You need to get good at asking for help and challenging others. If you've been giving other people referrals and they're not giving referrals back, I'll give you an example with my brother. My brother's a real estate agent and he used one mortgage broker for all of his deals. And he was doing like 20, 30 deals a year. For all of his deals, he was giving all of his business to this one mortgage broker. The mortgage broker never gave him any deals. And so my brother went to him and said, listen, we got to talk. I've been giving you lots of business. I can give it to anybody. I like you and I trust you. I want to give it to you. Give me a reason to give it to you. I need some help here too. What happened immediately? This mortgage broker started giving him a bunch of business. Now they've got a great relationship. So you need to get ready to ask for help. Again, this is touching on confidence, is it not? You need to be willing to challenge others. Next, you need to be self-motivated, which you are learning in this course. Learn to motivate yourself. If you're not self-motivated, you're not going to do all the things you need to do to follow up with people. Now, again, when I say follow up, you need to follow up on the referrals that people give you, but you also need to follow up on the people that you're building connections with on your network. Lastly, you need a fantastic attitude. To be a great networker, you need a great attitude. And if you don't have a great attitude, you need to work on this, okay? I was going to mention something else here. I just slipped my mind. It'll come back to me. But I want to give you some extra help. So I told you one worksheet that you can go through is kind of that groups of professionals that serve the same clientele, but serve them in a different way. So I'm going to give that to you. When I think of things, if I think of other things that are valuable to you, I'll do that as well. Okay. So what if you are new to networking, you want to get good at this, and you go, Mark, I'm not a good communicator, I'm not good at promoting myself, and I'm not good at follow-up, and I'm not good at challenging people, and I'm not self-motivated, and I don't have a great attitude. How can I learn this? Here are some ways where you can start, okay? How do you learn? How do you get started? You can join a group. And there are 3 different communities. The first, I'm going to go from how easy it is to learn to kind of more difficult learning. The first one is called BNI. So this is the Business Networking International. It's international, as the name suggests, and it's a group of people that are really strict. They're going to say, we meet every week. You got to be there every week. You've got to bring referrals to our group. You've got to do things in a certain way, and it's a really good group for that because they've got a ton of continuing education, and you will learn a ton about how to promote yourself and build confidence in that group. Okay, you'll speak in front of people all the time. Second one is Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce is in every town and city that I know of. Okay, everyone has a Chamber of Commerce, and it's another group like this. Advantages, disadvantages. An advantage is that you don't have to go all the time, okay? I actually consider that a disadvantage. I love that BNI groups meet consistently because when they meet consistently, they're going to be helping you become consistent, develop a routine for networking with people. It helps you and it helps you grow. Chambers of Commerce, one of the downsides of it is that it's not organized in the same way. It's not as organized as BNI. They don't have as much continuing education as BNI, but it's more relaxed, okay? So that might be a fit. And then third, if you want to go to some like online networking group, LinkedIn is a great place for this. If you're in LinkedIn, you can create really solid connections. I've connected with some really unique people on LinkedIn. I don't use it all that often. I don't use it consistently. But when I want to get to know somebody and I have no idea how to get in contact with them, I find out who's connected with them and I start building networks with them. And eventually, kind of like 6 degrees of separation kind of thing, eventually I get to know these people. And eventually I build a network with them. Great system for doing this, okay? Now, if you're going to do Chamber of Commerce or BNI, choose your group wisely, especially with BNI. Choose your group wisely, okay? There are fantastic networking groups and there are awful networking groups. Some are dying, some are growing. Take your time. Go to a couple meetings. Ask people lots of questions. Make a really good decision here because once you commit to one, you are now committed to spending time, energy, and money with that group of people. So find a group that's going to work. Now, again, I have an entire course on networking with people that includes a crazy amount of information, a lot of action steps. Again, if you're interested, feel free to contact me and ask me for more information, okay? On specifically networking and building skills with that. That's one of the major things I do with people because one of my skill set is teaching people how to communicate in certain ways. That's one of my strengths and will help you, okay? Action steps, finally. Here are my action steps as far as marketing in general, but specifically networking as well, because I believe it's a really valid way. Everyone needs to network on some level. Get those referrals because it's a fantastic way to make money and get sales going. Number one, become who you need to become. Look at your goals. Look at how you need to reach your goals. And if you went, Mark, I'm not good at writing copy. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at influencing people. I'm not good at communicating, whatever it is. Well, guess what? You need to become good at that. So become who you need to become, okay? Read, learn, grow, spend time, money, and energy growing yourself. Spend time buying coffee for people who are better at this than you. Pay for coaching. I pay for $30,000 of coaching a year, and it's growing all the time. Spend money, time, and energy on these things because you will grow yourself. If you're struggling with people skills or you need an attitude check, these people will help you with that, okay? You're an average of, Jim Rohn said, you're in the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if people have crappy attitudes, you're going to have a crappy attitude, okay? Spend time with people you want to be like. Secondly, have a budget. Now again, have a budget for time, have a budget for money, have a budget for energy. Spend a certain amount of money on your marketing. Spend a certain amount of time on your marketing. The more time and money you invest in it, the better you will do. Marketing is not cheap. If you're trying to do it on the cheap, you will get cheap results. Period. Now, that doesn't mean that if you simply throw money at something, you will do well. You still have to spend it wisely, okay? Third, another idea is ask the question, how will you become visible? Which format fits you best? Are you a writer? Are you a speaker? Are you good online? Are you good with social media? In person is always best when you're marketing. So speaking in front of a group of people is always better than sending out a video or a newsletter. Meeting with somebody for coffee is always better than LinkedIn because you're connecting on a different level. Next, avatar. This is another document that I'm going to be providing you with. Spend time on your avatar. Spend time going over these questions. Work on this immediately. This is a very, very, very important document. The more time you spend on this, it's like your why. The more time you spend on it, the easier marketing becomes for you and the more money you will make. And then lastly, develop a funnel. And even if it's right now, you just kind of go like, well, what is a funnel? So it starts with lots of people. I reach lots of people. And how do I become visible to those people? Great. So now when I've become visible to those people, how do I build trust with those people? Great. Now when I've got trust with those people, how do I sell to them? How do I sell my product? How do I influence them? Ask those questions constantly. And this will be the start of a funnel for you. And you even just draw, like the diagram that I gave you in both videos, draw a funnel. Now ask yourself, how can I do this? What's going to work best? Come up with some ideas. Come up with a plan. It's okay if it doesn't work. Work on it. Learn. Grow. Now again, this is where coaching can come in handy. If you spend a lot of money on coaching and find good coaches, what is going to happen is they're going to be able to help you more. It's one-on-one help now. They'll ask you specific questions. They'll challenge you with specific things, and they probably have experience with these things, which makes a huge difference. It helps somebody so much to have the help. I've spent a ton on coaching myself, so I'm speaking from experience. But the more I spend on my own coaching and education, the more money I make. So you're never going to be able to tell me and have me believe that it's not worth it. Now, if you've got money paradigms and you don't want to spend money, that's another thing, okay? But be willing to spend your time, energy, and money on this. The more you invest in marketing, I'm going to give you a secret. People who are the best in business are best in marketing, period. I don't know anyone that's really successful in business that doesn't understand marketing. I'm talking about really successful. There are people who are awful at what they do and they're successful in business, and it's not ideal business, right? If they're not good at what they do. But there are people who make a crazy amount of money because they're good at marketing, even though their business sucks. This is the number one skill that you can work on. Marketing is everyone talks about sales. There's lots of training on sales. There's so little training on marketing right now. It's starting to grow as online marketing becomes more prevalent and popular, okay? But work on your marketing. If I was going to work on one skill in my business, if I was to do this all over again, the one skill I'm going to teach my kids with business is marketing. Teach people how to market. Teach yourself how to market. Learn how to market, and you will become better at business. You will make more money, I promise you, if you learn properly. Spend time, money, and energy learning this.